Rayan is taking the Premier League by storm. Just 1 month ago, you probably didn't know his name, but 2 goals and 1 assist in his first 3 Premier League matches has changed that. He is lighting up the Premier League with his work rate, his physical and technical ability, and his decisiveness. So let's start off with the slightly boring part, work rate. It's not the most exciting thing to talk about with a winger, but it is incredibly important. We all know the environment that the Premier League has become. It's intense, it's a duel, it's a battle, it's a war out on that pitch for 90 minutes. The intensity barely drops at any point, and to survive in the Premier League, particularly as a young player, you've got to be willing to put in the hard yards. You've almost got to earn the right to do the exciting stuff that we'll talk about later. You've got to earn the right to do that by working hard for your team, by supporting your team. And with 8 recoveries in less than 2 90-minute matches, I think it's fair to say that Rayan is doing that. He is helping his team out defensively, and that requires 2 things. First of all, the ability to press high and work hard going that way, but also the ability to track back and help your fullback. Bournemouth are a side under Iraola which press relentlessly. Absolutely relentlessly, and the forwards are key to that. They've got to set the standard. So for Rayan to be able to anticipate and intercept the ball here is incredibly useful, but also you've got to be able to defend the other way as well, because sometimes your fullback is going to get isolated. He might even get overloaded 2 versus 1. You've got to help him out. You might be a young exciting winger who's here to dribble and score goals and create, but you've got to defend. And I think Rayan has shown really a great work rate, a great attitude, a great determination, and a great desire to win, really. Tracking back, helping out his fullback, doubling up on wingers, putting these tackles in to help his team defend. And like I said, I think the 8 recoveries is quite impressive in the lack of game time. So defensively, he's doing a good job. Now for the slightly more interesting part, Rayan actually on the ball, talking about his physicality, but also his technical ability. First things first, the physicality, because you might be thinking, why do we need that? Why do we need a winger to be physical when he's on the ball? Well, again, because of the nature and the environment of the Premier League, sometimes you're going to get pressed, sometimes you've got to find a way to look after the ball one way or another, particularly passes from your fullback, straight line passes up the line. A pass that I don't like in football, because as you receive that ball, you're going to receive with your back to goal, which means the defender knows that they can apply pressure. They're going to squeeze up behind you to engage. You've got to be able to deal with these situations from a physical point of view. Now, of course, a lot of the work here is still technical. You've got to be able to scan before you receive the ball, know where the opposition is coming from. But being big and strong like Rayan is certainly helps. He's got that ability to look after the ball. What I would like to see from him, though, is using his upper body even more, really using that arm to sort of hold opposition defenders back to stop them getting towards the ball. At the moment, his pure size and the length of his legs even is allowing him to just about keep the ball away from the opposition. But I think he can do a little bit more here. However, his technical quality is really helping him. His ability to quickly play round the corner, quick, sharp passing. His pass retention numbers have been very good. 100% of his long passes have been completed, and 87% of his passes in total have been successfully completed to a teammate. So Rayan is looking after the ball even when under pressure, and that's incredibly important. Now, a lot of these passes are simple ones. They're rolling the ball back in field. They're finding a teammate in the centre. But they are incredibly important. You've got to look after the ball for your team. In this league, you can't pick the ball up and dribble every single time because you're going to lose it too much and put your team on the back foot. So you've got to pick that moment to look after it. And I think Rayan has done that very well. He's also combined with teammates well, whether that's an underlapping run into this position here, or actually someone going on the overlap, flying around the outside for Rayan to then find the ball to. I think technically he has shown a good quality. And also, if we just go back to the physicality for a second, I also include speed in the bracket physicality, because it's something that physically you're capable of doing. And Rayan's speed, his acceleration, his power over the yards looks extremely, extremely exciting. However, the most exciting thing for me and the most unique thing about Rayan, in my opinion, is his decisiveness when he gets the ball. And what we're talking about here is a player that when he receives the ball, he immediately knows what he wants to do. And that's so important. You've got to be one step ahead of the game. You can't receive the ball and then try and figure things out because it's too late. You're going to get crunched. You've got to be sharp. You've got to be on the front foot. You've got to immediately know your idea. And Rayan does that. The ball's in the middle of the park here, and it gets played quite high out towards the right-hand side. But Rayan takes a really aggressive first touch. He almost spins the ball back in front of him, back into a forward path. And what he's trying to do is essentially face up the opposition fullback like this. 1 versus 1 with the fullback. Take a look at him. You've got that angle where it's almost a straight line through to the opposition's goal, that diagonal straight line. But he picks the ball up, immediately gets that first touch out with his feet, and he engages with the fullback. The fullback responds, immediately coming out towards Rayan. But again, he's decisive. He quickly finds that ball in behind. He knows what he wants to do. He finds that underlapping run. It's a good pass. Bournemouth get themselves into a great position. Slightly different role now. Ball is out wide. Rayan is in the middle, but the ball comes across from the right-hand side towards the left. Rayan initially slows down. He knows what he's doing here. By slowing down, he gets his body in the way. It means that James Garner physically can't make the tackle. And as we discussed the other week, Garner is good at making tackles. He's a high-energy midfielder. So Rayan does really well here, delaying, using his body, but then letting the ball roll across his body, accelerating towards the left-hand side. Again, it's clear what he wants to do. Very quickly, within 2 touches. Touch out your feet, try and get the shot off. It doesn't work, but it's decisive. It's clear what he wants to do. Now back out wide, where he belongs, on the right hand side. The ball comes from in the middle, and again, the first touch is an aggressive one. He immediately spins back inside the pitch, holds off the defender brilliantly. The strength here is absolutely fantastic. This is the upper body that I'm talking about, using that arm to hold off the defender. I'd like to challenge him to do it more, because when he does, he's really strong, really powerful, and difficult to knock off the ball. And again, the intention is so clear. In just 3 touches, he's got himself to the edge of the box. Now, unfortunately, this final touch was tragic, absolutely terrible, completely killed the move. But again, I love how quickly he wanted to act. How many times have you watched a frustrating winger who sort of slowly dribbles at fullback and you're not really sure what they're doing? They're sort of jockeying their way up the pitch. They make a little bit of ground, but you're sort of waiting for something to happen. That's not been the case with Rayan in his first 3 games. He picks the ball up and quick. He knows what he wants to do, and he attacks defenders. And for me, that's what wingers should be all about. Again, wide on the right-hand side, he receives the ball. But this time he's going to go somewhere different, which again is a fantastic sign. The fact that he can go both ways. Earlier we saw him coming inside, but this time, let's go outside. He receives the ball, centralizes the ball between his feet. First touch gets the ball between his feet. This means that he can sort of immediately square up that fullback. This player here, he's immediately squared him up. He's looking at him, he's 1 versus 1 with him, and the winger, the fullback, knows that he can go both ways. On this occasion, again, super quick, super decisive, pushes the ball with the left foot towards the right-hand side. Just takes a touch and goes. It's fantastic to watch. Flies around the outside. The acceleration here, the speed is seriously impressive, as is the strength. And another day, you might get a foul for what eventually happens in the box. Again, it's really good. But here's something a little bit different. Decisive again with his action, but in a very different way. He doesn't actually get the ball for most of this move. But the ball is on the left-hand side, and you can see Rayan at the far post. He's sort of in the box, but he's not really interested until the touch comes backwards. The touch comes towards Truffer, I think this is, onto his right foot. And he knows, everyone knows what he's going to do. Right foot curl towards the back post. Rayan immediately, you can see him top right, immediately starts to make his move. Again, this is really quite simple, but it's just decisive. He doesn't hang about at the back post if we just clear this. He could stay in this position here. He could hold this position and sort of wait to see how the move plays out. But he doesn't. Again, the intention is clear. He decides early. He wants to be aggressive with the movement, and he gets the reward with a fantastic headed goal. Physicality. And then this one. Decisive as he receives the ball. Ball from the middle to the right-hand side. Nice and wide. Rayan picks the ball up. First touch. Back inside, back towards the opposition fullback. And again, what this immediately does is it just engages that defender. It immediately tells this defender, I'm going to drive at you, literally at you, not at the wing, not at the space inside, at you, at the defender. And it forces these defenders almost into a reactive state. They've got to react some way, either get out of the way or make a tackle or show the winger one way. On this occasion, Digne does horrendously. It's some of the worst defending I've seen this season. So Rayan, we can't hype this goal up too much, but I do think, again, the decisive action. First touch is an aggressive one. It's at the defender. It commits the defender. Then he goes past him and scores a brilliant goal. So basically, long story short, what I love is that Rayan is embracing everything that the Premier League is. That's hard working, it's intensity, it's physicality, it's technical ability, looking after the ball, finding your teammates, but then in the final third, being quick, being decisive. In this league, if you take too long, defenders will tackle you, or defenders will get set, goalkeepers will be ready. You've got to act fast, you've got to act quick, you've got to be direct, you've got to be decisive. And I think Rayan absolutely has been. Now, of course, it's only 3 games, but the record in those 3 games is brilliant. His performances have been exciting, and it almost makes you forget about Semenyo a little bit, which seems crazy to say, but Rayan has been absolutely fantastic, and Bournemouth fans will be hoping that it will continue. Will it? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. How long will this form continue? What sort of streak can he go on? But also, what do you like about him as a player? And also, what does he need to work on? And final thing, Let me know the next video that you would like to see on this channel. Another player from the Premier League that you would like me to assess. Something unique about a Premier League player that makes him stand out from everyone else. For Rayan, it's his decisiveness. For me, for today, we're finished. Nothing else to talk about. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.